Greetings and welcome to One on One right here on Afro World View. I'm your host, Len Moleko, and today on the show we are joined by a very special individual. She has done something that many on the continent cannot stand on a pedestal and say, I have done this. Who am I talking about? I'm talking about Portia Modise. Portia Modise, rather. Former Bafana Bafana International, Banyana Banyana International, yes. Portia, welcome to the show.
Hola, Len. Shabunjan.
I'm good. I'm good. More especially because I'm joined by somebody who is, you've done things that many people cannot sit and say, I have done this. But getting into the conversation, when you scored that 100th goal, which is something that we can go throughout history in football, not a lot of people have managed to do that. What went through your mind when you went to that game, when you were on goal number 99, and when you scored that goal? Is it something that you anticipated, or you just went into the game and like, okay, goal number 100, I've done 99, so another one is another one?
I think I had a lot of chances to finish the 100 goals in the first game and also in the second game when we were in the Africa Cup of Nations.
Yeah.
But for the fact that I was a team player, I felt good. If it will happen, it will happen. But knowing myself, being selfish about scoring, I knew Gucci, I will never finish the tournament without scoring that 100 goals, because I felt Gucci, I worked so hard, and our media person was always pushing me, always updating me about my goals. And it happened, Gucci, when we go to the Africa Cup of Nations in Guinea, he said, Posh, you only left with 3 goals to finish your 100. And for me, I felt it was easy, but let me play a first game being a team player, giving other girls to score goals. But I knew at the end of this tournament, I will be finishing my 100. And I didn't have any much feelings of it because I knew it will happen. It's just that for being a woman, there's nothing really exciting when you achieve something, because we're always being undermined about things. But scoring 100 goals, I think it's something that I wanted to do as a young woman soccer player, wanting to reach the goal that any other soccer player didn't reach, especially me as a woman growing up playing with men. I always wanted to leave that statement that I was taught by men, so I'm going to do it better than men.
So, going back to saying that you obviously started playing football, the decision to start playing football and crafting your mind that I'm going to do this better than the people who taught me. How did that thought process come about?
For fact, I was raised in the family that they were boys, that they were so in love in the game, and they will always take me to go and watch their games. And I end up falling in love with the game, not knowing that I was born with the game, because it didn't took me time to know the game. I didn't really learn the game. I saw myself playing street football with guys. Sometimes guys, they will come and fetch me to go and play with them in street football. So I felt good. I was getting good by a day in the game when I was hitting those dustbin in a street football. So I felt good if I could join women's football while I'm giving problems in the guys. So the women, they're going to have a problem. So I could take my career even far in a women's side, because I don't play like women, I play like guys. So yeah, I used the opportunity.
And you one of the few players from the Banyana Banyana setup who managed to go play overseas very early on, before a lot of people managed to do that.
Yeah.
We know now there's quite a number of them going overseas, Janine van Dijk, Van Veek rather, and there's a host of others who've joined her.
Yes.
But you did it very, very earlier on in your career. How easy was it to apply your trade overseas, having played in South Africa and now finding yourself in a totally different environment where women's football is actually taken seriously and on a professional level?
I think it was not something that was easy to find myself playing overseas. It's something that you work towards on, and having also someone that helping you, sort of like a manager who will always want to talk to other teams overseas to give you trials. Then I got trials in Arsenal, but when I went to Arsenal, it was not only me, it was 5 of us with my other teammates. But when we were supposed to sign the deal was, for me, it was not that fair. I felt too good. So I'm not going to stay because it's Arsenal. I still have other plans. I still want to explore playing for other countries. So I felt good. Let me go home and work even more harder.
If a little girl, say age 6, 7 years, came to you and said, Portia, I want to play football and I want to represent my country, would you advise them to do that in South Africa?
The honest truth, it will be silly of me if I could say to those young kids they must spend their time, nurturing their talent that they have, thinking which one day they will be recognized and being respected as women, and putting their effort in what they're doing and trying to shine. I will never advise them to say they must put their whole effort in women's football. Instead, I will say, go to school and play football, women's football as a spare time. Probably one day after finishing your school, there will be ones that will be coming in the Safa house and taking women's football seriously. That's when you'll start also to take your women's football seriously. Because right now, if you could spend your time looking women's football, it's not gonna give you anything. You'll end up living in the shack, and you don't want that for yourself. While there are currently soccer players who are living in the shack, while people seeing them in the TV, they see celebrities, people that are getting paid, while they're even using a taxi.
So what is it that the Denmarks and the Swedens and the Englands and the USAs and Germany, what is it that they do that we are failing to do in this country when it comes to women's football?
I think the development structure, it was well prepared, and women teams, they stand by themselves. It's not like they need men team to boost women's teams. Also themselves, they're taking in charge of women's football. They have early developments. They have the team that I was playing. It was like Kaizer Chiefs. They have their own nature, and it was only by women's teams. So I think also our development sponsorship, it's lacking. People also who are running women's football, I think they need to do better. They need to come up with good ideas. They need to think what we can do to improve women's football. Because for me, it's been happening many years the way women's football has been. Instead, I even believe which is going backwards than even it's supposed to go forward. But women's football for me is going backwards. I enjoy women's football while I was playing, while it was Sasol still sponsoring women's football, because at least we're also getting recognition. Women Sasol will take best players to some vacations. At least it was something. But now, today, there's nothing that is being recognized about women's football. It's not even showing on TV. But with Sasol, there were games on Sunday. With those spare times, you could see 5 or 7 games of women's soccer. People, they were starting to follow women's football. But now everything is shut down. You only see women's football if Banyana Banyana is playing. But if they don't see Banyana Banyana, they don't think there is league for women's football, Sasol league. They think we don't have play for teams. Because even when they drop you in the national team, you go back to your club level. People, they thinking you're not playing football anymore. Because you're playing, but you're playing for your club level. While people, they don't even know which we do have club levels, like Kaizer Chiefs, Sundowns. They don't know that. The only thing they know is Banyana Banyana. So how women's football is gonna grow if they only know Banyana Banyana?
The funny thing about you talk about club level and Banyana Banyana. I know in many clubs in Europe, I know Arsenal has a women's football team. Chelsea has one
Barcelona.
as well. Barcelona, and I think Manchester United are slowly getting one together now. When you look at the PSL, the Kaizer Chiefs, Sundowns have a team, but the big Soweto Giants, your Kaizer Chiefs, Orlando Pirates, we can even go as far as Edinburgh Morocco Swallows, even though we know they here and there, but they exist, but they don't exist type of thing. Why is it, or has it ever been looked at to say these teams that are in the Absa Premiership to have a women's football team like other countries and teams in those countries do?
Yeah,
because if you're going to develop women's football, that's one way you can do it, because the facilities are there. You spoke about Naturena. So in terms of training, in terms of everything that's available, it is available through whatever it is, in terms of the teams in the Absa Premiership are able to access, and a women's team is also able to have the same facilities.
The problem is, if you check our main people that are holding the football house, also I do believe they don't have an interest in women's football, because if they did have an interest in football, they do have a power to ask each and every individual big teams to adopt a women's team to make it better. Because end of the day, people, they expect Banyana Banyana to produce results, while we only get professional when we're in the national team. When we go back to our club level, we become amateurs. Then how do you balance, as a coach also in the national team, how do you balance to keep your players focused all the time? Then you take it back, go Bafana and the PSL. So when I'm coaching Bafana, it's easy for me as a coach to have fitter players all the time to come and present, and it's easy for me to teach something to the players when they get to the national team if I'm a coach. But with the women's side, I need to start everything afresh, while I have a big competition ahead of me. How I'm going to pass that tournament? I'm not going to do well. I'm going to fail, because I only have 3 weeks to prepare in order for me to qualify for the World Cup. So I'm not going to qualify, because even the Sasol League, it doesn't help me with the players to come in the national team fit. You know why? Because we're becoming amateurs when we go to the club level. So now we need those big guns, Joe, the PSL, the guys also, to get involved, you know, to say, I think it's about time. But big players, I think they need to raise their voice and say it's about time to help women's football. Yes, they're getting too much money. Also, they could share a little bit. When they play Netbank, they get 8 million. You want to tell me they can't even share 1 million with the girls? They can do that. But now, just because even the owners, big clubs, they don't care about women's football. But when we have big tournaments, big competition ahead of us, people expect us to go there and qualify. How are we going to do that if also the country is not helping the crisis that we have in women's football? If you have a Sundowns having a women's team, what are you supplying to those women? You're supplying clothes. It's not enough. These players, they need to have a living, like senior boys teams.
Yeah.
You paying them, they have their own families to go back and buy bread and to feed them. So if you're giving me clothes as women, so you're making a favor for me. I'd rather say, let them be. Yeah. They rather struggle than you give them clothes while they're still gonna take taxis to go home. I can't even buy myself a Uno, but I'm a Sundowns. I'm a Sundowns lady soccer team. Then, for me, what is it that I'm benefiting? But I'm under Sundowns, so I need to feel like the club is doing a favor for the ladies. Why can't we have some incentives if the heart was good to really help women's football? Mtsipe could do that. It could pay. And we're not saying pay us like guys. You pay guys 500,000 a week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks. You could do a justice and give 10,000 to the ladies. The difference you could make, it's huge. Because we're coming from...
But also, with what you say, it shouldn't be a case of, give the guys 500,000, give us 10,000. Because at the end of the day, 90 minutes is 90 minutes. You're playing in the same field, and you're playing the same amount of football.
You're right. But for a fact, they will tell you, women's football doesn't have sponsors, so it doesn't have money. That is why I will say, the legal that will give, okay, will appreciate. Just change women's football. Because the way it is, it's not funny. You know, I was with Banyana Banyana players, my ex-teammates. So this weekend, they didn't even have money to buy themselves anything. But I look at them, they were playing, no the last Go TV.
Yeah.
I retired long time ago, but I could buy myself a drink. They were in the field playing that 90 minutes. They don't have money. Then it's for me, it's surprisingly, I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, the same struggle that I was struggling in women's football, these guys, they still experiences. I was the voice of these guys fighting for every legal cent that we're getting today. It still doesn't change. It's still the same. That the money that I fight for in 2001 or 2002, even today we're still getting the same amount. How many years that Bafana Bafana money changed?
Because I was going to ask, in terms of when you go to tournaments like the Women's AFCON, or you go to the Olympics, or whatever tournament that you play in, the stipend, for a lack of a better word, the allowance, let me put it that way, that Banyana Banyana gets, is it the same or is it different from what Bafana Bafana gets?
I could say the time I was playing there, and I still believe they're getting the same. When I get to the national team, there was no appearance fee. Then a day I'm getting 400 rand. If I play a game, I'm getting 5,000 if I win, and it's gonna be tax per hour. I'll get 3.4 or yeah for that game. Then you calculate what Bafana Bafana gets. If Mina, I'm getting for my 2 weeks camp and the game, I'll be working out in the camp with close to 12,000. Then you calculate Bafana Bafana 2 weeks in the camp playing a game, how much they're working with home.
And I'm assuming even with the coaching staff.
Yeah, how much?
Because we know, we look at somebody like Stuart Baxter.
Yeah, how much?
He's probably not getting like little money.
Yeah.
He's probably getting a lot. But it's not the same with Coach Desiree Ellis, is it?
How much are they working home with? Even, I'm telling you today, if I could ask my coach Desiree today how much he gets, then we ask Vera Pau, the previous coach, how much he got. It's not the same. There's a huge gap.
And also, I was going to actually ask about Coach Vera Pau. She was here for the longest time. Desiree Ellis has always been here. She served the country like you did, exemplary for a number of years. But Safa opted to go for a overseas-based coach as opposed to a local coach. Is there a lack of faith in local talent? I mean, you are here, but you're not part of the Banyana Banyana coaching staff.
Yeah, because I speak my mind. That is why I'm not there. Because I could say how I feel. I could say what I don't like. I could say what is not fair. I don't think I could coach the players that are not happy. I don't think I could, me being a soccer player, knowing where we're coming from, where I was raised, and knowing with some of the players, they come from the same background, probably that I was coming from. I was not going to coach players that are not happy, coach players that are not getting paid. I do believe if they will get enough with what they want, I could get better results as a coach. Because if I'm coaching hungry players, how do I expect to get the results? So for me, I was going to lose the job for effect, which I was going to fight for players not looking after myself as a coach, because I will be getting my salary. I need to keep quiet. But I was not going to keep quiet, because at the end of the day, it's not even about me. It's about us getting that good life, going out there home, enjoying that 90 minutes, enjoying that you sacrificing, being a soldier in the country, going out there, other countries, the things that we experience with being in other countries, coming home feeling safe, feeling good, at least I made it. While as other people, they think for us playing football is up, enjoying traveling, there's no danger. Sometimes we experience danger, but we're saying we're there, we're soldiers, we're going to present a lot of women, we're going to present the emblem of South Africa. We're going to wear that jersey and sing the national anthem with the pride. And we expect to also our country to come back for us when things are down, because you can't expect someone that sacrificed her life or his life for the country, end of the day, still lives in the jungle. Come on, today you're living just because those people, they were there to sacrifice their life for you. Recognize them. You need to come back also. But I feel, Guti, in our women's football, even the people that are running it, or even the people that are behind it, they don't have interest anymore because they don't have a support. Yeah. They're just there to get a salary now to push their lives and see Guti Zopelelapi.
We know now that Dr. Denny Jordan has been, he ran the elections unopposed because Ace Ngobo pulled out at the last minute. He's going to be president for the next 4 or 5 years of Safa. Obviously, they're the guys who are in charge of Banyana Banyana. They're the ones who run football in the country, basically. And talking about the problems that we have in women's football and looking at what has resulted in the Safa elections, is our football in good hands?
You know, I always said, with the achievement that I had and with the promises that they made when I've retired, if they were true to what they're saying, it was going to happen. For a fact, sometimes they say something that it doesn't happen. I don't trust it anymore. I will only believe when it happens, you know. And I'm putting my faith, which one day, it could take 10 years, it could take 25 years, but one day the leader will come, the proper leader will come. It's unfortunately good, you know, when black people want positions into something, they don't even see good. We're even voting for the right person now.
Yeah.
We could vote for wrong people because I need the power. I know that person, if he could be a president, I will get a space somewhere. So even us, we're destroying ourselves. But we want good things. So how are we gonna get good things if we're not voting proper? Because we need to give someone a job just because we know he's gonna lead us, he's gonna be a leader, he's gonna lead us to good things.
Yeah.
But we're giving people position because I know I have a position. If that person gets that position, I know I'm the third person to get somewhere a job. Even I don't know the job, I know I'll get it for my loyalty, my vote.
So, in closing, what plans are there for Portia Modise going forward? Do you want to go into coaching, even though you say they're trying to close the doors for you because you're a very vocal person, but what plans do you have in place in terms of football and helping to take women's football forward, as difficult as it is in this country?
You know, I'm coaching. We went to do a license coaching, and we have this WhatsApp group as the coaches that we went to attend the D license. Other coaches, they got their certificates. I'm not getting my certificate. Now I'm starting to think they're sabotaging me now again. I'm not getting the certificate. They'll say I failed the D license, but the D license is just an introduction. I believe Guta was better than other coaches that they were there.
Yeah.
And
so just to come in there, do you have to start from a D license even though you've played professionally? Because we know there are players in the Bafana setup who actually went from playing and went straight into coaching without having to do a D license or a C license.
It's so unfortunately for you, are Porsche being vocal and thinking, Gucci, you always saying things that people they don't have to know. They will always make your life difficult. You'll start afresh as in like someone never recognized in our country. So I'm willing to do that. I'll start afresh because I'm passionate about the game. I do believe which one day I could create other Porsches. So what I'm doing right now, I have an academy that I'm running in Pretoria. There's a team that I'm running about here as a Sedlajeni FC. They're playing in Castle League.
Yeah.
It was their first time registering in the Castle League. And I joined the team when they were playing a second leg, and they were number 15. Now I finish on the number 7. So I don't see myself that bad as a coach. I see myself, if I got a better opportunity, if I got in the first round, probably my team was gonna finish better. And I felt good. I don't wanna be stereotyped. I wanna show Gucci. It's not like I played the game with the fluke. It was the gift from God. I could coach a man, I could coach a woman. It's all about the game. It's not even about the gender.
Yeah.
It's about the game. So for me, you know, handling in the men's side, I also believe, Gucci, I want to teach people, Gucci, I could do it better. I could teach men how to play a game, even I'm a woman. And at the same time, I didn't want to be stereotyped just because I played for a women's soccer club. Now I need to coach women. And I believe also, Gucci, I don't want to have a girls' team, while else I wouldn't have good facilities to provide for those girls. I don't want to disrespect women the way I was disrespecting my career. I want to give them what they gave me in Denmark, feeling like a professional player as a woman. For the love of God, if we could get sponsors, I do believe I could start to introduce women in my team to give them that feeling to be a professional players, get that incentives from my sponsors say they need to get paid, not playing for free, because end of the day they need to go home and feed their families. Not what is happening right now in women's football. Those kids, they're playing just for fun. It's not happening because we investing our time there, Joe. Nati, we need to buy those cars. I need to own that house. One day I need to have kids. Why is wrong? Me as a women's soccer player, one day I could have my photos in my house showing my kids, which I was a soccer player. My boy or my daughter seeing me as a mother wearing that strip jersey, not believing, which you or my mom was a soccer player. Why we're not giving that opportunity to explore that, not as women soccer players? Why they feel good to only men, they deserve that?
All right, Portia. I wish we had more time.
Yeah.
I wish we had more time because there's so many stories to tell about the injustices that are happening with women's football in this country.
Yeah.
But the little time that we were able to chat to you, you've shed so much light. And thank you very much for telling us your story. We'll definitely have a follow-up with regards to this.
Please.
And I definitely want to follow up on why is it that you played for Banyana, but you had to start your license from a D license as opposed to just making the transition to playing, to being a coach, like it happens with the men's system. We know the Sean Bartlett's and so many names I can mention of guys who played and then they transitioned into being a coach. But that's a story for another day, but
Yeah.
we will follow up on that. But regardless, thank you very much for your time.